What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. The team on the screen is the team that I played a few games with. That's right, 98 chemistry. Maybe you can't see it if I forgot to put my camera in the bottom right, but I'm going to start putting my camera in the bottom right. But yeah, I tried to go with this team, and the reason why is because I wanted to use players that I've actually really thoroughly enjoyed using rather than using anything for any other reason. Chemistry is an issue. Chemistry is a big thing in the game this year. You know, people get so hell bent on 10 chem, has to be 10 chem. Like, people literally sacrifice players to get players on 10 chem who are infinitely worse. For example, there is a situation where you could have, say, a left wing who's 83 rated and has 83 in every attribute, and with a hunter chem style would get 95 pace, 95 shooting, and then 83 in every attribute, and he's 83 rated. And he gives everyone perfect chemistry. And then you can have someone who's 90 rated, who has 90 in every attribute, but with a hunter card, he gets, because he doesn't get the chemistry, he only gets 95 pace, 95 shooting, and then 90 in every attribute. People will take that 83 rated dude just because he fits chemistry. I don't get it. People keep saying to me, why don't you use Benzema? Benzema will get 10 chem, NepentheZ. Yes! If you compare Suarez's in-game stats with a hunter on 8 chem versus Benzema's in-game stats with a hunter on 10 chem, Suarez gets better stats in every single area. Every single one. There's not a single in-game attribute that, to my memory serving correctly, that Benzema has higher than Suarez. So why would I use Benzema on 10 chem? Like, for me, as long as the player, chemistry is less and less relevant the higher rated the player becomes. For example, 99 Ronaldo will be just as good on 10 chem as he will on 5 chem. And that's a fact because of how capped his stats are. And that's even without chem styles. 98 Messi, 98 Suarez, very much the same. So when I get my players here, 91 Hazard, 92 Ibra, 89 Costa, 94 Ronaldo, 94 Suarez. We are talking about players that even if they get lower chemistry, they are still phenomenal players. So yeah, the reason why I was happy to try this team out is just because I wanted to see what it was like to use players that I actually think are good in this game. This Nainggolan card that I've got in the team right now, he's just unreal. He's unreal. He's so good. I want to find a way to fit him into the team a bit better. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to without sacrificing some other players that are just also amazing. For example, as well, Seamus Coleman right back card is ridiculous. Like, I know he's a little lacking on pace, but with a shadow card or a catalyst card, he's genuinely ridiculous. Like, absolutely unreal. His in-games are phenomenal. The way he plays is fantastic. He has high work rates, which is brilliant. I think he's quite tall, right? Is he like 6 foot? Maybe I'm wrong on the height, but I know Alonso is really tall. Alonso is a phenomenal defender as well. But I'm thinking, one of the comments we got actually. Let me go to it. Let me answer this one first. He said from Ben. Ben says use 88 Lukaku in your team. If Lukaku doesn't win Player of the Month, I will get 88 Lukaku and use him in my team. If Lukaku wins Player of the Month, I will use the Player of the Month Lukaku in my team. And what I plan to probably do is use Ronaldo, Suarez, Hazard, Nainggolan right centre mid, Lukaku centre mid, Costa left centre mid. Use Alonso and what's his face as Piliqueta centre back and left back. Florenzi right back, Smalling right centre back, and De Gea in net. The only person then I think that would get off chem would be as Piliqueta, I believe. I'd have to check it out. I'd have to have a proper look into it. Sorry, Smalling even. But as I say, I'd have to have a proper look at how it works. But yeah, with that, I think Lukaku will make a solid centre mid. I love strikers at centre mid. People laugh at it. People really laugh at it. One thing that #Harry said was that someone like Costa doesn't have the agility to play centre midfield, in his opinion, for him, because if somebody plays the ball past, he's got such low agility that it takes him ages to turn and recover. And it might go some way to describing and understanding why I concede so much more than most other people on counter-attacks, because the turning circle of my players to turn around and get back in is a little bit slow because of the low agility. So that's something to think about for sure. But offensively, players like Costa in the midfield are just unreal. he will win most headers. When my opponent takes a goal kick, if they play that straight down the centre, Costa will likely win that goal kick, that header back, because he's 6'2", he's really, really strong. His short passing is also very good, so it doesn't really affect his passing too much being like that. And then the goals that he scores, like here's one for him right there. I know that's a corner and not necessarily like a valuable goal, but he scores some important goals for the team. And for me, plays a really important role in the team. And this is why I say to people, when people say, who should I play? What should I do? How should I play? What tactics? What custom formations? My answer is always do what works for you. Like, just because, the world and their dogs say to you, Kante is unreal in this game. Kante is the best player. Because he's quick, he's got high aggression, he's got 99 stamina, and he just runs around nibbling at players 24/7. And I understand that. I understand that Kante in that mannerism would be amazing. But Kante's not going to win your headers. Not from corners, not from goal kicks, not from your own goal kick, not from crosses. Kante's going to be a lost sheep in the box, His shooting isn't the best. He does put in some bangers for some people, but typically speaking, his shooting isn't the best. And it's one of those situations where, for some people, Kante's the man, and he works because they found a way around. Like, maybe they don't play long goal kicks, maybe they play short goal kicks, or maybe they play short corners instead of putting corners in the box. Maybe they don't need the physical height, not the physicality, because Kante's got a lot of physicality, but maybe they don't need the height of Kante. Whereas my playstyle personally requires a tall, strong midfield. It has done for years. It has done. So that's why I love these sort of players. But if I can get Lukaku, and if it is Lukaku, if it's Harry Kane, I don't know if I'll use him at centre midfield. I probably would try him because, as well, he's tall, he's strong, he's got good skills. He's not skills in that sense. Like, he's like a good player, got good ball control. He's relatively fast. He's got fantastic finishing. He's got good work rates as well. Everything about him is just really, really clean. But Lukaku, for me, because of the link that he gives to Hazard and to Nainggolan, would probably be the dude. So if Lukaku doesn't get that Player of the Month, I probably would go about getting the 88 Lukaku and playing him at centre mid. So there's that. So we've got a comment here that's got 400 thumbs up. I've ignored it for a few episodes because I don't think it's worth the discussion personally. But a lot of you guys keep thumbing it up, which means you do think it's worth a discussion. So we'll discuss it. It's from S. Tuel, and he says, "Hi, Nep, do you think it would be a good idea if the informs would get a larger upgrade for certain stats which they use to make the actions to give them informs? For example, if a player scores a few goals to get the inform, and one or two of these goals were scored with his weak foot could get upgraded." On this point, I do agree with that. I think if somebody scores a skill goal, they should get a skill move upgrade, and if somebody scores on their weak foot, they should get a weak foot upgrade on the inform. I do agree with that. So this could also work for pace if the player sprints past defenders to reach the goal. For long shots, where their long shots will get upgraded, obviously, for using skills, upgrading skill moves, for using their body to keep defenders away, adding strength, passing for assist, and using a 1-2 to score, and many things. The other stats will get upgraded as well, but those upgrades will be smaller. I'd love to hear what you think of this idea. Thanks for providing quality content every day for us to watch. So the reason why I didn't really I think it's logical to instantly assume. By the way, I made mad profit on that Titties. Bought him for 35k. He scored for Barcelona, so I quickly jumped on the market. I was like, let me grab him. 35k bought. As soon as I went back on the market, I've got some items on the market. You'll see I switch over to, I was selling a lot of my bronze stuff there. We go look at him, Titties, and almost instantly, he gets sold for 60k. Bought him for 35k, 250, and boom, look at that, he has gone. He actually sold, I think, for 80, 90k max. I didn't think he would go that high. I was like, look, he's not going to get an inform. He's just not. Like, Messi got 2 goals, 2 assists. He wasn't going to get an inform. But I made 25k profit. Happy days. The problem, there's just one logical oversight that I think this comment's got, and that's the fact that it's going to be nearly impossible for EA to track everything. They can't watch every single goal every single person scored and decide, did he score a long shot, a near shot, a weak foot, a strong foot, a skill move, not a skill move, a physical. There's just not enough people in the world to follow every single goal that closely to give that kind of upgrade. So whilst in theory it would be really nice, especially the weak foot and skill moves, especially those ones I think would be good. But in practice, I don't think it's a viable thing that would be able to be used. Messi King 11 says, "Hey Nep, do you think it would be good to see classic cards in FIFA? For example, AC Milan Kaka or Liverpool Torres would be cool. To have people would enjoy using players but were so sick back in the day, but now I've got older and past their game. Love to hear your thoughts on this." I mean, essentially, you have those by way of legends, right? But I do get what you're saying. You're talking about players that are still currently in the game that used to be like amazing or have had great seasons. I guess like the FIFA Mobile flashback cards. They do flashbacks to when a player had like a great season and just give them like a super high rated card that you can get in FIFA Mobile. Yeah, I think it'd be awesome. I don't think EA have the rights to it. By the way, we completed the Cavani SBC. It did cost me a bit. Like I did it a little bit like arse backwards, and the 7.5K pack had absolutely nothing in it. What the hell was going on here? Why is this screen just like this? Did that just not show the pack? That didn't show the pack. Anyway, in the pack, I got Espinoza, which is great because he sold for 22k. So all the money that I spent on Cavani, I got it straight back, which was great. So even though I kind of overspent on a couple of players just to get the team rating, he ended up being, I ended up making profit whilst completing that SBC Cavani, which is great. I said great like 4 times. I don't think, dude, EA have the rights to do that. I think it will cost them too much money to purchase the rights. Maybe something we'll see down in the future, but definitely something I would absolutely love to see. I would love to see a Liverpool flashback Torres card, you know, where it's like 93 rated or something, and just super fast, great finishing, maybe even 4-star skill moves. You know, a Balotelli card from back in the day. Maybe look at that goal I conceded. Oh, EA, please stop. You know, a Balotelli card, a Falcao card from back in the day, maybe a Pirlo card from back in the day. You know, Lampard, Gerrard, some classic players or classic cards would be great. I can't see it happening in the near future, but it would be pretty damn good. Next up, we've got Walter Benavides. Brilliant. Says, imagine if he played with his other account, where he buys loads of FIFA points and opens loads of packs. That would be a minimum elite 1 every week. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Because this team is great that I've got. There aren't many times, there are almost no times where I sit there and think, my God, if I had a bit of a better team, I would have ground out a few more wins there. I think I've shown by my pack only account, which is basic team, basic players, basic levels, sometimes not even full chemistry, no chem styles, you know, like really gutter tier players, and I still get a very, very similar kind of output of wins to this account. I don't play all 40 games, admittedly, but I get a very similar amount of wins. So I think if I use that main account and had like the full blues with a few legends and the key players absolutely everywhere with an incredible bench, I think I'd probably only get realistically 1 or 2 more wins a week, which would only really realistically again put me to like the 32, 33, maybe 34, 35 wins a week. So to your point, you say minimum elite 1 every week. You could well be right. It might end up grinding me out 34 wins a week. But I'm so close to that here. And as we spoke about last episode, I think one of the biggest problems right now isn't even my player ability. It's not my ability on the sticks, because I've proven week in, week out that I'm a very good player in this game. I'm not the best. I'm not top 100. I'm not professional. I'm not even competitive. But I feel like I'm a good player, right? Because I get elite basically every week. In the last sort of 12 weeks, there's only been 2 weeks where we didn't get elite, and that I was just in meltdown then. You know, it was around the time I was going to court. My mind wasn't right. Like it was just the wrong time to be playing FIFA for 40 games a weekend for sure. But other than that, like I beat myself a lot of the time. I really do. Like I let my opponents get in my head. I let the smallest things change how I play a game. And I noticed today in some of these games here, even when I was losing a game, like there was one game that I was losing, and I'll point it out when it comes up, and I was 1-0 down, and I thought, you know what, screw it, I'm not going to panic, and I'm not going to rush, and I'm just going to literally forget that this guy scored a goal, and keep playing my game, and see if I can get back into the game by doing that. And by doing that, what I noticed something huge, which is going to be massively important for me going forwards in FIFA, is I noticed that when I rush my passes up front, when I've got a counter attack that's not necessarily a viable counter attack, but is an okay counter attack, you know, maybe a 4-on-4 or 3-on-3 or something like that, I rush my play because I'm searching for that goal so quickly that I just will never ever turn back around and pass it backwards. I'd rather try and get a shot away and lose possession than to turn around and keep possession and play FIFA. I went down 1-0 down to the dude, I think in the next game or the game after, and after that I put together a 15-pass move. And what it allowed me to do, because I got into a position where I had a counter-attack and I had 3 attackers up front and he had 5 defenders, or maybe 4 defenders, 5 defenders, maybe 6 defenders with a couple of midfielders back or whatever. And I got the ball with Hazard in an offensive area where 9 times out of 10 what I would do is try and beat the defender, maybe hit a long shot, maybe a skill move, win a penalty or something like that. But what I actually did is I turned around and passed it backwards, and I noticed my whole team moved up with me then. Gave me more options, allowed me to retain possession. I eventually broke my opponent down and hit a wonder goal with Diego Costa. And it, like, honestly, in the space of just that right there, I went from, like mentally, I went from panicking when I've got the ball when I'm 1-0 down because I need a goal, to being like, no, just play the game, play the possession game. You will get it. You will score. You will get something out of this game, and that's exactly what happened. Dave Bob, who doesn't know Dave Bob in their life, says, "Hi Nep, what do you do whilst playing FIFA? Personally, I listen to music. I highly recommend it, as it has helped me so much. It makes me not as bothered when my opponent scores, and I seem to play better. Love the vids." I do a load of different things. Sometimes I listen to music. What a goal from Suarez, by the way. Sometimes I'm watching TV, or I've just got TV on in the background. Sometimes I've got a stream on. Sometimes I'm chatting with some friends. Sometimes I'm listening to FIFA commentary. It's just a mix of things for me, dude. It depends on what I've got going on during that day. Shay Begley says, "Hi Nep, I think it would be beneficial to invest in 10,000 coin informs when the tradable and untradeable squad builders come out. Like, if you agree." Yes, it can't be bad, dude. I personally would rather invest in something that it isn't those things, just because you don't know when that next thing is coming. So it could be super long-term investments, but it's definitely a safe investment, because worst case scenario, you just discard it and get your coins back, right? Hunter Stewart says, "Chemistry styles are important. The reason people say that they aren't is because they test it with pace and pace alone. What they don't think about is how even if you add a Hunter chem style to your striker, most players play with anchor or shadow on their defenders. So in reality, most players remain the same in relation to the defender that they're trying to beat, but their defending goes up massively. This makes other stats much more viable to upgrade." I completely agree with this. What he's saying is, if you've got an attacker with 85 pace and you apply a Hunter card to him and he now goes to 95 pace, all of a sudden you're thinking, wow, this is going to be unstoppable. But then if you've got, like I've got, as Pilaqueta in centre-back with 81 pace, and I apply a shadow card to him, he goes up to 93 pace. Like, they both move up. So what Hunter's saying, which I find is very important, is that it's the stats outside of pace that you're upgrading that you should take notice of. Are you finishing more chances? Does your passing feel cleaner? Does your dribbling feel cleaner? Because pace is defined by so many factors in the game anyway, that it's really hard to say one way or another. But also that we have no benchmark for what 80 pace is or what 90 pace is and what it should feel like as a difference. Because 80 pace could be lots of different things. 80 pace could be 99 acceleration and 61 sprint speed. And now that's someone who's super slow, even though they have 80 pace. 80 pace could also be someone with 80 sprint speed and 80 acceleration, which would be much, much faster than the other person that has 80 pace. Agility, balance, reactions are very important when it comes to pace. They define how quick a player turns, how quick they're on the ball, how quick they can get, basically how good their dribbling is, which is important. The stamina is important for pace. The lower stamina they have, the quicker they run out of pace. Like, you see the blue bar at the bottom, players with lower stamina, that blue bar gets burnt quicker, and the white bar that it fills back into goes down quicker. So low stamina players, they hit their max sprint speed super quick, and then they quickly die out. So when somebody says, "How is he keeping up with me?" By the way, this is the goal that I scored where I was just passing. You'll count 15 passes. Quite often, like right here, I probably would have, like normally, panicky NepentheZ would have gone down the right-hand side and tried to get him behind down the wing. But I just thought, let me try and play a passing game. Let me try and bring myself back into it. But what you'll see is a lot of players will get a player like Eden Hazard, who's got really bad stamina, and they'll sprint. They'll get the ball ahead of the defender and they'll sprint away from the defender, and they'll burn that energy so quick that then the defender's able to catch up because the defender has better stamina and is able to run at his highest pace for a lot longer than the attacker. So yeah, I think you're right in what you say, and I think as I say, I don't believe that there's a benchmark for what pace should be. We don't know how much pace. We don't know how, if we had like figures, like someone with 85 sprint speeds will run 100 meters in 15 seconds and someone with 95 sprint speed will run it in 13 seconds. We then have benchmarks as you can tell the difference. But there's so many variables in this game that define how pace works and how the players run with the ball, that to just simply say doesn't feel like it does anything, it just doesn't work. That's not good enough. You know what I mean? into the last game for today, guys. And I was really interested. This game was really weird for me because this guy, he's not top 100, but he's ranked top 100 before. I googled his name afterwards because this was a really, really good, tough game. And he finished last week with, I think, 32 or 33 wins. So he's a high elite tier player. He ends up scoring a goal there of Alexis Sanchez with his head, which I'm not pleased about that. You know, my defenders should be doing better than that. And then I end up getting back into the game myself. And again, what you'll notice here is me not rushing my play. That was actually a good ball, and I thought Ronaldo would have scored that. But after I got the ball back here, Alonso passes the ball. I'm not rushing. I'm taking care of the ball, get the ball away to Suarez, and then take my shot. I score the goal. So I get back into 1-1. And then my second goal in this game, which is about to come up as well, was also a really well put together passing move. I spread the play very nicely. You see me, I pick up the ball here in defence. Ronaldo plays it out wide to Costa. Again, normally I would run all the way down the line there and try and cut it in. Thought, no, let me play a safer game. Let me play a more possessive-based game. Allow my team to come up and give me options, and that's exactly what happened. Costa got the ball, Suarez into Dele Alli. Dele Alli plays it backwards into Hazard. Hazard waits for the run of Dele Alli, who gets back in the box, shoots and scores, and then this guy quit. And I don't know that he didn't disconnect, because he might have just disconnected, but it would be very, very convenient that he would just disconnect as I've scored the goal. I was really disappointed that he quit, because I was looking forward to a good, tough game with him. You know, I enjoy playing the good players, and he was a good player. It was a very even game up until the point where he quit or DC'd. So I was a bit disappointed I didn't get to see out the rest of that game and like earn my win rather than kind of get given my win. But anyway, guys, this is going to be the end of the gameplay. Let's get into some live action. So guys, 30 games deep now, and we find ourselves at 24-6. So that's an average of 8-2 every 10 games, which I'm quite happy with. We've had 1-9-1, 1-7-3, and 1-8-2 over the 10 games. My aim is to get 8-2 every time, because then that'll get me 32 wins, and then hopefully push on and get a few 9-1s to bump up to that 34 win. But because of my inability to stay consistent, the 7-3s and sometimes the 6-4s creep in as well. And last weekend, a 5-5 crept in too. So if I can just, I don't know, man, next week I hope I can stay 8-2 consistent and get a couple 9-1s, you know. But I'm playing really good FIFA. In this batch of 10, I won 9 of them, obviously. I lost 1. And the game I lost, I mean, he was a good player, right? But the way he scored the goals, that goal from De Gea, the own goal, I don't know what happened there. I was 1-0 up and it genuinely just changed the game. However, as like kind of like karma would have it, the next game I think I got a rage quit. But then the next 2 games, I won both 1-0 with goals that came, or at least maybe I didn't win 1-0. I know I won one of them 1-0 where I scored with Rajan Angolan, and then I won one. At least I scored with Ronaldo a goal that was just, both goals were just garbage. Like his defenders made perfect tackles, the balls bounced around, and it fell to me. So, like, this is what I try and explain in one sense, is even though I feel aggrieved that I conceded a goal because De Gea made a huge error and the AI just bugs out. It swings and roundabouts, you know. It swings and roundabouts. So I'm happy to be 24-6 right now. I'll be very upset if we don't get Elite from here. And in actual fact, I would like to get to Elite 2 today. Elite 2 is my aim. 32 wins. If we win 8 of our remaining 10 games, we'll pick up those 32 wins. Of course, if I manage to scrape 10 wins, we could potentially get Elite 1. Probably not on the cards. I'd be a very, very upset man if I can't get 5 wins out of these last 10 games to get Elite 3. But we'll have to see, you know, how it goes. In terms of ones to watch and a bit of investments and stuff around the club, I just want to show you a few things that have sold. So some items sold. We got that silver player that sold from the last episode. I don't know if I showed you. I missed out some SBCs. I'll show you what I've done as well. I've listed up Luis Adriano for 40k. He scored for Spartak Moscow today. He's selling for about 30k right now. The reason why I've listed him for 40k is max bin is 50k. If he gets another goal, he'll probably go for 40k. If he doesn't, the 28 to 30k that he's selling for right now, I don't want. I'd rather wait until he's potentially going to get an inform and go off the hype there. The rest of the items on the transfer list, I'm tempted to sell Manolas, but I'm going to lose so much coins on him. I bought him for 189 and I think he's like 180 now or 170. Oh no, he's back up there. Okay, fair enough. Right, I'll hang on to him until I can get some decent coin out of him. And I've also got Alexandro here. Now him, I did lose coins on. He went down to like 180s, right? 181, 220 bin. Maybe he's back up at like 210 or so. All right, maybe, you know what? Let me list him 220. bin and 200 start price and just see if I can get rid of him like that. And let me list Manolas. And I'm going to explain. I'm actually going to keep Manolas for now. And I'll show you why in a second, because I want to talk to you about my team a little bit. And I apologise for these like end bits. I know they make the videos like super long. But for those of you that aren't interested in this part of the video, you can feel free to click off at any stage. But some of you will be interested. But what I've done, guys, is I did the Edison Cavani, which I think I recorded Cavani. You might see it this video actually. I can't remember how I recorded it, but I did the Cavani thing. I only bought a couple of players. I definitely recorded that. But what I didn't record was some of the Calcio A ones that I've done. I've done 8 of them. I did them on stream: Torino, Udinese, Sassuolo, Sampdoria, Roma, Napoli, Milan, and Fiorentina. We've done, so we're nearly there, and I've made profit off of these. You know, I packed regular Manolas, I packed Alderweireld, I packed an inform, and all in all, I have made profit so far with what I've got out of this and what I've got in the club. And the reason why I did them on stream and not for a video is because I felt like if you want to watch these, feel free to go and look at the past broadcast of the stream, twitch.tv/NepentheZ. There's a little button that says videos, click on it and it'll be right there for you. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. You've missed out. But the rest of them I'll probably do on video, if you get me. So in terms of the club, we've still got some good stuff. Giuliano did nothing this weekend, so his price, I think his price actually went up. I think a lot of the ones to watch prices did take an upshift. So it looks like there he's about 45k now. So he has gone up a little bit. It's just I want it to go up obviously as much as it can before I cash out. Now Dembele scored and got an assist. So his price is up at like 230 again now. It did go down to like 180 or so. So I'm happy with that. Milik didn't do anything. Morata, I've just lost a lot of coins on Morata. I bought him at a wrong time. That was a bad investment. Delafeu didn't do much. Embolo's still out injured but is back in training. Batshuayi could do something today. Hesse could do something today as well, I think, with Las Palmas. Sanson is playing right now. Literally as I'm recording this video, Sanson is playing. His price not gone up too much. And Sané is playing today as well for Man City. So if Sané does anything... wait, tell me he's up to 78k already. Is he actually 78,000 coins? I'm going to have to look on Footbin. I apologise for doing this. But if Leroy Sané, he is 75k. We could cash in on him and then rebuy him if he does nothing. Who are Man City playing? Hold on, guys. Again, I apologise. Sunderland. Wow, and he's starting. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to list him 110 bin and 75k start price. If he goes for 75, wait, what's he actually selling for? 75 is what. If he sells on open bid, maybe I'll wait until the Man City game kicks off, because then if he does anything, he'll just go. You know what I mean? But that's brilliant. Some profit there. I had a chance to sell Guedes for about 35k, and I missed that chance. He started for PSG, and look at how crazy this is. And this is why I invested in these ones to watch. I was recording a video, funnily enough. He started, and off the hype of him starting, he went up to 35,000 coins, and I had a chance to sell him. Had I sold him for 35k, I could have come back and bought him back again now for like 20k, 15k profit, and still got the player. This is the plans, you see. Berino did nothing. Bailey, I don't think, did anything. 19k we bought him for. Yeah, he's still cheap as chips. And Gilardini, I think, into play today, I believe. But yeah, see, we packed Alderweireld there out of one of the packs, and I packed Manolas there as well out of one of the packs. Now, I have the regular Manolas and the regular Alexandro, so I could easily sell the Alexandro and the Manolas. But I just want to show you guys the squads. I've actually stuck to this team now. The reason why I stuck to this team instead of switching to 2 teams, it just feels better. I tell you what, I actually, one of the main reasons why I stuck with this team is because for me, Roberto Firmino is an absolute must-have in teams. I felt when I was using Ibrahimovic in the midfield, I was losing out, and so I've basically stopped using a lot of players. I've been kind of mixing up between Bellerin and Coleman. I think Coleman is just phenomenal, man. I really enjoy him. The same with Bellerin. I think he's just fantastic. I've got 2, like, in terms of FIFA, world-class right-backs. I dropped Reed. I do know why I dropped Reed. I dropped Reed because I need Smalling to get the link to Dele Alli, and Azpilicueta is much better than Reed. So, and Azpilicueta as well has been phenomenal. He's very, very good, which I like a lot. And Costa, a lot of people laugh at me for using Costa in midfield, man, but he's scored some important goals. He does good work in the midfield. And Dele Alli, I really am hit and miss with him. Some games he just shows me that he's great and he can do well. And some games he just gets lost and I end up subbing him out for Nainggolan. And Nainggolan comes on and, whew, this card is just brilliant. I would love to be able to fit him into the team, which is why I kept hold of Manolas, because I'm half tempted to do this and this and this, and then put in Florenzi or Bruno Perez at right back, and put in Manolas at centre back, and have that Roma trio down the right hand side, and then I would need another link to Costa, which is a problem. I genuinely hope Lukaku gets Player of the Month, boys, because if Lukaku gets Player of the Month, we're golden. Because I put Lukaku in that centre midfield spot, and then he gets a link to Nainggolan as well. You know what I mean? In the meantime, I'd have to play Nacer Chadli in here, because now Nacer Chadli will get the links. But when you compare Chadli to Costa, more pace, more shooting, more dribbling, same defending, way more physical, and a little less passing. But then it's saying that I've actually had fun with Nacer Chadli. He's done a good job for the team. So we got options. I just want to wait and see what the Player of the Month is before we really dictate where this team goes. So in the meantime, I'm going to continue using the players that we've been using, and making sure that we get the best out of this. And once again, Cristiano Ronaldo is just God tier. I know he's not getting as many goals as I would hope, but I think that's because I play him off the left forward spot rather than as a striker. I know Nick manages to score more than a goal a game on average with him, but I also know that Nick starts him at striker. I'm 100% certain if I started him at striker, he would score more goals for me. But that goal to game ratio and got an assist to game ratio is brilliant. And Luis Suarez as well, fantastic. Just does really good work. And I tell you who lets me down the most in this team is this guy here. He's now down to 826 goal contributions in 837 games. He used to be above goal-to-game contributions, and now he's lower than that. And I'm open to switching him out. I'm interested in maybe putting Lionel Messi there. You know what I mean? Like throwing Messi here. I don't know what. I know Messi's like 600k. I mean, we'd be able to generate the funds by selling the informs, and like I could sell Sandro, Manolas, and Dembele, and I think I'd be close to that 600k. Especially if Sané sells as well, I'll be real close to that 600k, or maybe even 700k for Messi now. Yeah, like 650, 660. I'd be close to that if I sold those investments on. Now Suarez would pop up to 10k. Messi would still only be on 8k would be able to get Messi onto the same as Ronaldo as a right forward. But then again, it comes back down to this whole midfield issue. One of the things I could do, which you guys recommended, was to play inform Isco, because I'd only need one link to Ronaldo. I could place Luka Modric at centre mid. And then Modric would be... No, Isco would be an ideal player, actually, because we could do this. We'd get rid of Dele Alli. We'd do that. We'd actually swap those around there. We'd put Isco in here. And I could just use Isco's regular cards, for the time being. Yeah, the 88 Isco, he does look good. We could throw him in there. So Ronaldo gets perfect chem, Messi gets perfect chem, Isco gets perfect chem. We could swap those two around, and then we would require... I'd still be one... I'd have one midfielder on 8 chemistry, but I'd probably be okay with that. Alternatively, I could use this, and then I could go for Nainggolan. I could put the regular Manolas in here, and Florenzi at right back. They would all get links. The whole team then would get links. That team would be... I think we might have just built ourselves a team, boys. Let me just... I want to keep on the... I want to keep like the guys I'm using real quick. But yeah, I could put the Manolas in here. Obviously, I'd have to use the regular Manolas because I wouldn't be able to afford... this inform Manolas because I'd have to sell him to be able to afford Messi. And then yeah, we could definitely put ourselves... Florenzi or Perez here, whoever I can afford in the meantime. I think I have... Do I have Florenzi or Perez? Player name... I'll be very surprised if I don't have Perez. Wow, that's crazy. But yeah, anyway, you get the picture. And then on that instance, everyone would get 10 chem. And it would be a sick team. A really, really good team. Because that Isco card looks good. And of course, having Messi, Suarez, Ronaldo could be big, boys. Could be big. Obviously, it'd be sad because I'd be like, Coleman is just such a good defender. Bellerin is such a good defender. Failing that, without having to buy those, I could actually do that, and then play Kyle Walker in at right back. I have Kyle Walker in the squad. I'm not opposed to using Kyle Walker. I think in one of the last videos, a lot of people were wondering if I was opposed to using him. I'm absolutely not opposed to using him. I just prefer to use the special cards. Like Bellerin has got better stats, a little worse physical, but overall better stats. And Coleman just shits on Walker. A little less pace, but as you can see, I don't use Walker with a. I use Walker with a Sentinel, not with anything else. We played 17 games with him. But this as a team could be a team. But anyway, I've rambled on far too long once again. Thank you guys for watching this. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to leave a like rating, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.